but and also sing with desire in our hearts. Because if you see these popular scriptures in Mark chapter 11, he said, when you pray, right? He said, whatsoever you desire, when you what? When you pray. Whatsoever you desire, when you pray. Which means that if I'm to pray for 4 hours, I can take 3 hours to create a desire in my heart. Then when the desire is set, then I pray. The reason for this is so that you can maximize the time you spend in prayer. Now if I'm to start from each and every one of us, that when you came here, what was that desire on your heart? Now despite the varying prayer points that were changed from, it's normal, when you come for a corporate prayer, there will be prayer points. But beneath those prayer points, there was something burning on your heart. There are many of us, our desires change with each meeting, with each conference, with each message. We listen to another anointed message, we hear that man talking about wisdom. My desire now is for wisdom. You get to another meeting, healing anointing. My desire now is for healing anointing. And then you are a double-minded kind of person. No single desire on your heart that has lasted for 3 months. And that's the reason why we pray scattered. I don't know, is there an English word for scattered? Then we are just prayer power. When you pray, there's energy available. So there's just energy. And then someone else comes and with desire on his heart, all the energy other people have created, it just diverts it into something else. And desire is part of the way desire is created by what we say. And that's the importance of confessing the word and meditating. So that by continuous confession of the word, you can create a desire for a reality in your heart. And it's not just by that, it's by contemplating on that desire until your whole chest is literally burning with that desire. When that is settled, then you can now start praying in tongues. And that's the essence for songs. And that's why God brought back the ministry of minstrels into the body. It's so that as they sing, something can be created in your heart. Then when that happens, you pray. And then you enter into things much faster. If you look at the story of Elisha when they came to meet him and they said that we are going to war, we are going to battle, but we have no water and we have no this. Elisha said, bring me a minstrel that he may do what? That he may make sound for me. Not to play sound, not to sing sound, but to make a sound. Now the minstrel that came, if you check the meaning of that word, it was not a singer. It didn't mean a singer. It meant a forger, someone who forged sounds. And what's the essence? Why did Elisha need a sound before he could prophesy? Simple. Jesus said it. Whatsoever you desire, when you what? When you pray. Desire is not just a wish. A wish is, I wish to be great. That's not a desire. It's just a wish. A desire is something that is settled on a revelation. And then, over time, it has become the single burning thing in your heart. That is desire. In a single day, you can have like 100 wishes. You see a car, I wish I can have this car. You see a man ministry, I wish I can have this anointing. All those things are wishes. If wishes for us is beggars to ride. But the biblical principle is that whatsoever you desire when you pray. So that's the reason why we have messages, why we have things like this. So that as you listen, you can concoct a desire in your heart. And as that desire, you are diving more and more and more and more into that desire. Then when that desire is full in your heart, when they say you should start praying, there's a way you pray. You won't pray and your mind will be going all about. Because your mind is like an anchor. You know, if they want to drown a prisoner, they will tie his legs, tie his hands, then tie him around the rock and drop him inside the river. That's what it means when your mind has sunk into desire. When that happens, when you open your mouth and start praying, you know what your tongue does? The power you are generating will begin to forge a path between where you are and where your desire is. And the more you pray, the more closer you get to your desire. That's the essence of Jesus saying, whatsoever you desire, when you what? That's the first thing. If there's no desire and you are just praying, you won't. At the end is that you will have it. But if there's no desire at the beginning and you pray, you are not having any. What is that thing you want to have? When there's no desire. Do you understand? So they are going to play this again. And as they are playing, I also want I don't know who has a very good. Lawrence, please come and sing this song. And as this song is being sung, please, desire. Don't open your mouth to sing. Don't sing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't sing. As the song, just start singing with your heart. Convert it to prayer inside your heart. That's how you create desire. We'll do that for like 5-6 minutes. If I have nothing to say, I'll go and sit down. If I still have something to say, I will talk. Do you understand? Okay. Show me things hidden from that.
Ancient one, ancient light, show me things hidden for years to come. Ancient one, ancient light, show me things hidden for years to come. Let's close our eyes.
Engage. Desire, desire, desire. that didn't sleep and then go on deep meditation. That's how you actually journey with God. So when you hear words like engage, navigate, journey, this is how you journey. For those of us that did it well, a time will come when if you pour your heart into something, you start feeling the blood rushing through your body. You start feeling as if you are about to burst out. As if the seams of your body are about to tear off. Why? Because you are pouring desire into your whole heart. That is how we can master and effectively maximize our times of prayers. Let me repeat it again and again. Don't think you heard me. Whatsoever you desire, when you what? When you pray. There are a few things that I desire. If I listen to a message, your message will wrap itself around my desire. If not, it won't work for now. There are a few things that are on my mind now that I really desire. So anywhere I am, 24/7, I'm always asking for those things in my heart. That's how you create desire. So anytime I come anywhere where they are praying and I pray for 30 minutes, pray for 1 hour. Or I can even write on the prayer power made available and channel it. Like as I was here now, I was channeling my desire. And I felt more entrance than I would have felt if I was just channeling it alone. Why? I was pulling the prayer power made available for my desire. That's how we make things work. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? My desire for each and every one of us is that we make progress on all sides. And we can only make progress on all sides when we convert our prayers into specific desires. I don't want to share anything very mysterious here again. When we convert, I'll just say one or two very simple. They are simple. But if you can do those simple things, you will make a lot of progress. When you pray in tongues, right? If you check 1 Corinthians 14, the Bible says, he that prayeth in tongues does what? Speaketh mysteries unto who? Unto God. And does what? And edifieth himself. Right? But if you realize there's a certain verse where Paul said, I'm just paraphrasing, he said, I will pray. Is he in the spirit or with the spirit? Then he also said, I will pray what? Then he also said, I will do what? Then he also said, the last one, I will give what? Thanks. Are you listening? Now, that's Paul talking about in the spirit, which you understand to mean praying in tongues. Now, if you read that chapter 14 down, you see Paul again talking in another place, but this time he didn't say pray in tongues, he said pray with tongues. I'm going somewhere. Praying in tongues is when you just pray and you have no reason to even bother about what's on your mind. You're not concerned about, your understanding is totally unfruitful, and you are praying in tongues. What you are doing at that moment is your spirit is engaging with God. And brother, let me say this before I move forward. No matter how big the spirit of a man is, if his mind is small, that man cannot exert dominion on the earth. No matter how big your spirit is, if your mind or your soul or the amount of revelation of God that is functional in your soul, if it is small, you cannot exert dominion over the earth. Which means that praying in tongues and praying in tongues and praying in tongues, you are generating power. What it does is that it makes your spirit begins to swell. Your spirit begins to brood over places, brood over situations, brood over all kinds of things. But then it is in the spirit. But in the natural, you are still the same person. But then you see yourself in dreams that you are raising the dead. You see yourself in dreams that you are taking over nations. But that is in the spirit. You are growing big. But in the natural, nothing. Now, and that is why you must learn to pray in tongues, but also to pray with tongues. What's the difference? When you are praying in tongues, you are making power available. So normally, if I want to pray, I want to pray for 4 hours. For 1 hour, I'm just praying, Shato, Bradis. What I'm just doing is, I'm just making power available. Then when I've done that for 1 hour, the next thing now is to now pray with tongues. Then I raise up that desire in my heart, and I start praying in tongues. So what I'm doing is that with tongues, I'm using that tongues, I'm taking that tongues and I'm using it to achieve something that is a desire on my heart. So it's like you are in Ibadan, and the desire of my heart is to get to Lagos. So instead of just praying in tongues like I did earlier, I've made power available. So maybe I've done exercise, I've eaten food, so there's strength in my legs now. Now to get to Lagos, I set Lagos as a desire on my heart. How do I do that? You can do that by talking in your heart. For example, you start muttering, I want to go to Lagos. I want to go to Lagos. Until when you are not trying to think, that is the only thing you are thinking about. That's when you know a desire has taken over your heart. When that is not done, you now start praying with tongues. And as you are doing that, in your heart, you are still saying, I'm going to Lagos. I'm going to Lagos. I'm going to Lagos. So as that means your understanding. You are using your understanding to drive the tongues. That is praying with tongues. And that is what Jesus meant when he said, whatsoever you desire, when you what? Pray. That's before prayer, the first thing first is desire. Very important. That's why desire itself is prayer. Because I can be sitting down and I'm not opening my heart, I'm not seeing anything, but in my heart I'm in an attitude of prayer. 24/7, there's something always. Even as I'm talking to you now, there's something going on in my heart that does not even have anything to do with what I'm saying. That I'm talking to God about 24/7. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When you start to do that, you'll find out that your encounters are no more scattered. You can track the encounters of what will happen in the next 3 days to that desire on your heart 3 days ago. You begin to track. You not just, someone called me 4 days ago from Sokoto that he had an experience and he saw Emmanuel Kure. I said, okay. Then he told me a week before he saw Ozuba Angel. Okay, then he saw NHA. And he was trying to gather how all those different things means anything to his spiritual what? To spiritual growth. Now the reason why we have so many scattered encounters, they are scattered. And when things are scattered, okay, I'm looking for an example to use. If I have a gun, a 50 caliber gun with a 50 caliber bullet, if my shooting that gun, if the bullet scatters, right? 50 caliber gun, no, those are big bullets. Some of them are as fat as this. A 50 caliber bullet coming out from all those things that they will wind like this, and then they will shoot. Okay, let me use all this cannon. I'm sure if you watch all these old movies, you see them, they will do something will come out like a big iron. Then wherever it lands, fire will explode. Now imagine as that thing is coming out, it just pieces and it separates. A little bit of it, if it touches you, it won't have any effect. But if that big one touches you, what will happen? You fall down. Now, that is the importance of focus or desire when you are praying. Our desire gives our prayer what? Focus. Now, whenever we are praying in the Holy Ghost for extensive hours, it is even more dangerous when you don't have a focus. Because anything that just comes into your mind at that altitude of prayer, your prayer will just... So your prayer, you are praying in tongues, something else comes into your mind. The prayer power moves there 5 minutes. You pray in tongues again, prayer power moves there. Prayer power is just moving, then you sleep in the night and you're having 1,000 dreams. Responding to all kinds of things that are going on in your mind even when you are praying. But you can channel desire in your heart. You can channel it, and when you are praying in tongues, it's like you are making, maybe there's snow somewhere, and you know these vehicles they drive during snow, it will have a blade in front, and as you are praying in tongues, praying with tongues, with a desire in your heart, you are blazing a trail until you arrive at where your desire is. And how will you know? A time will come where you will approach a thin line. That thin line is that line between your journey and when you're almost arriving at your desire. There are mechanics to all this. If you've done it well over and over, you can know when it's 4 hours, you stop. You can know when it's 2 hours, you stop. You can know when it's 12 hours, you stop. You can know when it's 24 hours, you stop. And when you approach that thin line, as you are praying, there will be a time when you will feel the hand of the Lord upon you, and you are praying in tongues and you just feel like sitting down. Maybe you've been praying and you've been praying with all your energy. A time will come when you just relax. And as you are praying, the next thing that you start having visions that are in line with the desire that is set on your heart. When those visions come, that is not the end. When you see those visions, then you narrow your desire again to those visions. Then you drive again in tongues. That is how we cause manifestations to happen. That's how, and this thing works not just for healing anointing, it works for every area of our lives. There are 4 ways by which a man can exert dominion. Number 1, because he is born into the world. For who he is, he can exert dominion. So a man can look at a dog and kick a dog, or kick a goat. How does he have that confidence? Because he's a human being. By who he is, dominion. Then number 2 is by the word. The amount of revelation that comes into you is the level of dominion. Functional revelations. Functional revelations. And how do you make a revelation functional? It's not a big deal. The revelation that you are bold enough to practice is a revelation that is functional. It is not functional whether because it works or not, but the one you are bold enough to practice. When you believe enough that you can heal the sick, not when you start seeing results when you pray for the sick, but that you have the boldness to approach someone and say, I want to pray. That means your revelation is what? Is functional. The amount of functional revelations that you have is in your soul, in your mind, in your heart, that you can exercise yourself upon, is the second way of exercising dominion. Then the third way is through what? It's through prayer. And that's why you pray to a level, and someone in America will start seeing you in his or her dreams. Right? Because when you pray, see, oh God, I need to please let me do this thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because God has given you the privilege to observe how these things happen. When you are praying in tongues over a long period of time, what happens is that your spirit and your soul will begin to push out of your body. They will begin to push, and then literally they will step out. You will still have a link to your spirit in your body, but then it will begin to stretch. Because when you are praying, it's like you are pumping your spirit with gas. I literally feel it when I'm praying. It will start expanding. The thing will start blowing. And the more you pray, the more the thing expands. Then it can cover a territory. It can cover a school. It can cover nations. It can cover a continent. Until people that don't even know you, they will begin to hear your voice. People in close places, people that have not seen you, begin to hear your voice and see you in their dreams. Why? Because your spirit is expanding. But that is just a level of dominion in the realm of the spirit. The limit to that my dominion is that anytime that person comes into the realm of the spirit, he meets me. But what of in this visible sphere? If you don't learn how to transit things that happen in the realm of the spirit to the physical realm, in quotes, because physical realm is also a spirit realm, but it's just a stepped down spirit realm that we are all aware of. If you don't know how to transfer things from there to there, you will only be powerful in the spirit. You'll be the kind of people that people see in dreams. They see you in visions. They feel. See, many of us, let me even say this, many of us, we are not operating by our own frequency. See, if you are not careful, if you stay around someone that prays a lot, it is desires that will be your desires. You think you are desiring something. It is desire you are desiring. See, and that's why I tell people, when you are around someone that is very, very anointed, and you don't have a strong spirit, forget your destiny. Because it will be swallowed up. It will be swallowed up. It will be swallowed up by the winds of that person. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? What will happen is that you'll be baptized. There's a level where the anointing on a man's life gets to the baptizing level. Then the whole nation can be baptized into you. That where you go, hallelujah. Where you move, they move. And you will pray and pray, and you will not be able to hear what is God's will for your own. All you will be hearing is an echo of God's will for that person. That's the importance of praying in tongues for long hours. You have a strong spirit that there's a particular place where I stay now that people will just go, I saw you, you are saying this, I saw you. Even if God wants to speak to them, it's you they will see that God is going to speak to them. And that is not enough. That is a limit. It's only believers that can enjoy you that way. And unbelievers that have activated their dead spirit, which is wizard, right? But the people on the street, someone like Bill Gates, how do you affect him? When you meet Bill Gates, sir, what gospel do you want to preach to? Is it that you should have money? Bill Gates is lending to nations currently. Do you know that? Bill Gates is eradicating diseases in nations right now. So when you meet Bill Gates, you want to pray that his leg is healed, healing anointing, or you give him word of knowledge. They have data. They have softwares that can tell you what's happening in your past and can predict your future right now. It's called futurism. So what gift or spirit do you want to? He has more faith than you. He believed he could eradicate polio in the whole nation, Nigeria. And it happened 2 years ago. So do you have more faith than he has? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The Lord is calling us to dominion. And the true essence of dominion is that which I am in the spirit must be transferable to the physical realm. Where those who do not have God as Father can see my light. He says, let your light so shine that men may see. Now the emphasis is not the light. The emphasis is how your light should shine. That carnal men, without the use of spiritual senses, can see your light. It's not to say shakala blood and hey. It's not to you say this and this and this happened yesterday. See, there are some countries where those things don't impress them.
Yes.
Do you know what impresses them more? They stand before you and you are talking to them and they find out that there's a weight on them. And they're like, sorry, who are you? As I was talking to you, I was shivering. Sometimes that matters more to them than the fact that you are giving them something that happened in their past. How does dominion affect the physical realm? By the creative things that the Lord bears through you. So I know there are some people here that the Lord has been calling you, talking to you about technology, talking to you about businesses, talking to you about those things. Those are the ways, they are like a vehicle by which God transfers stature in the spirit and drops it on something that can hold it in the physical realm. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The anointing, for it to be visible. See, it's only in the church that some men of God's anointing are visible. Okay, let me give some. I know many of you know about David, right? Do you know that in the physical realm, realm like that, they don't know him as a prophet.
Yes,
they
sir.
know him as a crazy billionaire.
Businessman.
With financial what? Now, and how is he doing? He's using the oil for that. But do you know that on basis of that, he sits with presence of banks and he transfers Jesus into them. I'm saying that there must be a vehicle of that dominion can have on this earthly realm by which you can transfer your weight in the spirit and it stands on something. It doesn't have to just be business, it doesn't have just to be that. It can be anything. There must be something on earth that God can transfer your weight in the spirit to rest upon. If not, you will be big in the spirit, but in the physical realm, you do not what? And for those who are being called to in quotes, that is fading away. But in quotes, full time as we know it. The essence why sometimes God tells you to have a structure for ministry is so that weight can rest on something. If not, your anointing, your prayer, everything is just being scattered. No focus. Even your angels need something to rest upon. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that's why even that there will be need for a little bit of structure. That was why, if you look at the tabernacle in the wilderness, right? There was a way the old tribes of Israel arranged themselves. 3 on the north, 3 on the west, 3 on the east, 3 where? South. Round the what? The temple. The reason for that alignment is because of the angelic alignment. That alignment was not for the children of Israel. It's so that the angels in the realm of the spirit could shadow what they were doing. And that is why sometimes God needs us to put these things in place. So that spiritual things can do what? Can rest. And that's why God himself, his spirit, is limited. And that's why he needs a what? A body. The Bible says they limited the Holy One of Israel. Why? He was powerful, he could do whatever. But in this realm, that he has given to sons of men, God is what? Is limited. God is as limitless in your environment as much as you are what? You are limitless. And the bridge that transfers power, dominion from your spirit to where people can see it is your what? Is your soul. And that's why I said the seat the seat of your soul, is where desire rests upon. So by desire, you pull things from the spirit through the desire in your soul, and then something happens in the physical realm. Am I making sense? Please, I want us to make progress. If I ask someone that last year, what was the desire? Since the beginning of this year, I'm not like, okay, actually since November last year, till now, there's only one thing I'm still asking God for till now. And I've heard all kinds of messages that don't even have anything to do with that. But that is the power of desire. The reason why men of old broke into so much things was because some of them could set something before their hearts for 3 years. But because of the information deluge now, you hear something today, tomorrow you hear something else. You hear something else. You hear something else. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, nobody says you shouldn't hear information. You can hear information, you can hear revelation. But guard the desire in your heart. Don't be someone that, when you don't see your desire manifest in 3 months, 4 months, you drop it and you make something else. They won't respect you in the realm of the spirit. They won't even drop a desire in your heart because they know you won't see it through. If God wants to do something in this room now, what He will do? Okay, don't let me say God. Any spirit, either God, Satan, or an human spirit, if they want to do something here now, they will drop a desire in someone, and the person will begin to act out the desire. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Desire is very important. Learn to incubate your heart with desire. And that's why you guard your heart. Because you know, it's from that heart that everything streams from. So I guard that desire in my heart. I can be talking to you, and as I'm talking to you, there's a desire in my heart. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It gets to a point that desire will so much follow you that you have to excuse yourself. If you go somewhere, you pray, then you come back again. Then you are just incubating the desire. You incubating. Then when you now have your special time of prayer, where you can pray without disturbing anyone, then you now use your praying with tongues to channel what has grown in your heart to now forge a path to the manifestation of the desire. That's how we do things in the kingdom. And that's what Jesus said, whatever you desire, when you what? Remember, a desire is not a wish. A wish is, I want to do this, I want to flow in this, I want to flow in this gift, I want to do this. All those things are wishes. The wishes were us as beggars with what? Pride. But can you set a desire in your heart? Brethren, there are desires that God gives to you that are sovereign. But there are desires that you have the right to raise up in your heart. As long as you know it is allowed in the word of God. It is not against the principles of God. Blow this mind. Blow this fuse called your mind. What did I say? Blow this fuse called your what? Your mind. As small as your mind is. See, the link between power and transformation is the renewal of your mind. The renewal of your mind is not just only scriptures. It's also about aligning. When you, for example, you are reading John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Reading that verse is not just supposed to give you only the rhema of the love of God for the word. Every scripture you read is supposed to stretch your mind. Not just to give you rhema for that part. The essence of the word is to put into your mind the kind of mind God has. The width. So the more you read the word of God, the more your mind should expand. Not expand and it's just full only with, you can recite scriptural verses. Not just that. The possibilities in your mind should grow what? Should grow bigger. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, for example, let me give you an example of one of my desires. And I want to tell you how, because I've journeyed so far. Some things that already happened because I've not gotten there, but I'm midway. I had a desire that, Lord, if I will begin to teach about the mysteries of the kingdom, I want to be teaching people and be bringing people into the experience. So, for example, let's say I'm teaching you about maybe the structures of angels or the different races of created things. I don't just want to teach you story. I want to be able to teach you, and then I say, come. And then the moment I say come, two things happen. Either the people I'm teaching about come, or you go to where they are. Right? Because sometimes Thomas, he needed to put his hand into something for him to really what? Believe. Now, I'm still on that journey, but you know one of the things that are still happening now is that when I talk about something, and you will all bear me witness this night, As I'm talking now to each and every one of you, when you sleep this night, you will have dreams. And you know what will be happening in that dreams? It will be like you are hearing an echo of something you heard during the day. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You'll be having an echo of what you heard during the day. One. Number two is that there will be a shift in your spiritual senses. You begin to notice beyond a shadow of doubt that your sight has shifted. Do you understand? You begin to notice that your sight has what? Has shifted. I don't need to pray. I don't need to do impartation. It's because there's desire in my heart. I was going to a place, but some of the things that happen on the way to that place is what I'm talking about right now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Maximize spiritual power. One of the things that I know has happened to me in the few minutes I've come here today is that I have pushed. And how did I push? The power here. How do you use power? You direct power either by your heart or by your words. Not by words that come from anywhere. Words that come from your what? From your heart. So that's how you direct power. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So when power was available here, what were we going to use it for? I started channeling that power towards the desire that I brought from home to this place. Do you understand? Please, it might look simple. It's simple actually. We like complex things, so simple things done consistently will deliver you results. The kingdom of God is not complex. If I want to explain what I just said simply now, I'm tied with big utterances, I can do it. Do you understand? And say that the bridge between two realms of expression is the dimension of the functional, these realities that your soul can anchor. And by anchoring that, but we are not making progress. Simple. Put a desire in your heart. Right? And then, as you pray, ensure that you are praying with tongues. You are using tongues to reach somewhere. If not, brethren, it's not because the Holy Ghost does not love you. But when you pray in tongues and you don't set a desire, your tongues will be hijacked for things that do not concern you. Which is not bad. But it can mean that you can be praying in tongues and at the other side of the globe, someone is being rescued from drowning. Someone that does not even believe in God. But your tongues, not just your tongues, via your tongues, God uses the signature of your human spirit. And by that, creates an intervention for someone who is not even a believer. But how does that help you progress? Because we all have our individual destinies. If each and every one of us in this room can reach that point of our destiny, there are some prayers we will not need to pray again. Now we are praying for our nations. Imagine if those who God had laid on their hearts, that is their destiny to be those who are ruling this nation, and they are functioning there. Are we going to be praying for light, for power, for poor economy, for money? Some prayers will just go down inside the what? The river. That's why you have to be careful. Allow the Holy Ghost insulate your heart. If I say something now, people will think I'm wicked. Okay, let me say it. I don't really care whether you think I'm wicked or not. When they were put as tagging on Facebook, Leah Sharibu or someone, that she was taking, pray for her. I'm sorry, I didn't pray once. I know you think I'm wicked. I didn't pray once. If I get to where I'm supposed to get to, people like her, Boko Haram will not be able to come and pick her in the first place. So the whole church left curriculum. We started doing that. Now she's not even back. Plus all our prophets, mystical people, they've not even brought her back. One. Number two, the time we should have spent journeying towards a place, we are distracted. So we are not where we should be. And what we are directing our prayers to know has also not happened. Learn as a man, and I'm speaking to both genders, learn to guard the desires God has placed on your heart. That desire is the seed of your destiny. That thing that you desire, that this person, for example, you just have a desire to be rich. It's not bad to have a desire to be rich. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You have a desire that, Lord, just give me a voice like Lawrence to sing, and then I will take over the world. That desire is not as long as that desire is for God and His kingdom, it's not selfishness. It's a desire that is a seed of that which is your full what? Manifestation. Do Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Our goal is that every knees in this earth will bow at the name of Jesus. The means by which their knees will bow is different though, in each and every one of us. I have my own way. It is also the gospel. Do you understand? Of ensuring that every knees in a particular territory will bow. But there's a way that has been laid for me in the books on how I should do what? And how I should get there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let me give you an example of Jesus, then I will leave. Do you know that during the times of Jesus, they wanted to invite him to come and preach outside Israel? How many of you know that? But you know Jesus refused. Why? He said, where I am sent to is where? Israel. One. Then, if you look at the last 6 months before he died, the Bible says Jesus began to do what? Withdraw himself. Then you ask yourself, but Jesus, I thought you are a good person. There are sick people all around. Why are you withdrawing yourself instead of just going all about and praying for people? Jesus said, the poor will always be amidst you. Even sick people will always be amidst you. But Jesus said, the cocoa is that I go to the cross. When I get there, I will take care of the olet. But if I spend my time stepping out of the path of my destiny, I will not be able to go to the cross. But when he got to the cross, when he said it is finished, in one fell swoop, he took care of the whole world, entire universe. The focus. The only thing Jesus used to talk about, if you go and check the last 1.5 years, said that Jesus called them aside and he began to talk about how the Son of Man will die and will suffer. And Jesus called them and began to talk about how the Son of Man, he had an encounter on the mountain, transfiguration. Those that appeared to him, what were they talking about? How that he was going to die and the sufferings. And do you understand what I'm trying to say? If Jesus was consumed with that single thing, healing, miracles, they were byproducts. That's why in John 17 he said, Father, I have finished the work which thou sent me to do. And it's not, see, don't start fasting and pray, Lord, what's my destiny? What's my that desire in your heart, that of everything you see in God, that is what you would like. That is the seed of your what? And incubate it. Let it swallow you up. Let it be that when you sleep in the night, it's a continuation of that desire. You wake up again, you are at work, you are in school, the lecturer is talking, your brain is hearing, but your heart is concocting and drowning yourself in that what? In that desire. If you don't have a desire, you will desire someone, you will be used to achieve someone else's desire. It's as simple as that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let you have a desire in your heart, so that we can help each other. I was sharing something with Lawrence last time we saw him in Lagos. And what I was sharing with him, it was the fact that I realized that my progress was intertwined with the progress of other people. Let me share the experience with you. It was an encounter, and I found myself in an army troop. We had generals, majors, and all that. Then they were calling out people on, okay, if you have an idea of how we can win this war, win this battle, so you come out. Now, as people were coming out, they were talking about mantles, talking about things. So a particular person came out and said that we have mantles on our life. And in an army environment, you see them with their army clothes and everything. So someone came up and said, we have mantles on our life. Said, but some of us, said, with the way our mind is now, we are just using 5% of the mantle. When a mantle is given to you, it explodes instantly in your spirit. The full weight of that mantle is at work in your spirit. That's why when you have encounters, you see yourself doing things that only that I'm not doing it in real life. It's because in your spirit, that mantle has taken full effect. But the smallness of your mind is limiting the flow of that mantle into this world, the physical world. Do you understand? So the guy now said that it might take us the next 10 years before we might come into the fullness of this mantle. And that it might take us 10 years of praying 8 hours every day. I want you to understand when you come to pray, there are things that enter into it. Okay. I saw a ball of fire. Yeah. A ball of fire, and you know what will happen? You need to feel fire between your neck and your shoulder. I don't think that is happening, that the Lord is activating. The Lord is activating you. you are one of the few people in this room that has a desire of his heart. You know that desire is that, and the Lord is activating that desire. You begin to see a manifestation of that desire and to do that. So what was I saying? Okay. Yeah, so when that happened, then I found out that the only way this can happen is if they separate us from the normal training those in the army will go through. Right? And they just allow us to just be praying 8 hours every day. So I now went to meet my boss, a major. I now found that guy that was a major, I won't mention the name of ministries just to ensure that we're full alignment. That man is in a particular denomination that I am not in agreement at all with what they believe. But he was the one that had to go and meet to say, sir, will you talk to the general? I think the best thing is to separate some of us so that we won't be doing what everybody in the army is doing. You'll be paying us, you'll be feeding us, but we'll just be praying 8 hours every day. I said, so that we can accelerate the fullness of this matter. I said, when it happens, before battles happen, we will know it and we'll see it. Do you understand what I was trying to say? Other things happen, but I just want to pick that out. When I came out of the experience, the Lord started talking to me. I was still there on my bed with my eyes closed. And that's one of the things you learn to also do. When you wake up, don't open your eyes immediately. If you can spend another extra 1 hour on your bed, so maybe you wake up 5, then before you wake up by 6, just be there on your bed, don't open your eyes. And in your mind or in your heart, whatever, start inculcating that desire again that you want to set out on your day with. You find that is where visions happen very easily. The Lord started speaking to me to understand that we are connected in the body. And that if that man does not make enough progress, you also may not make progress. There's a connection we have like this. Some of you, your connection is with someone in Korea. As the dealings of God in his life move forward, the dealings of God in your life move forward. Now, these are not dealings in line with spiritual growth. That one depends on your personal study of the word and what? And prayer. I'm talking about assignments. Please, let's separate the two. Assignments. When I say, now I'm talking about individual destiny. Our destiny, corporate destiny concerning us generally, is that we grow spiritually. Right? And we come to the fullness of the stature of Christ. For each of us, we have our individual assignments. That's what I'm talking about. Do you understand? The Lord made me realize that if He doesn't make progress, you are not making progress. As regards assignments. And that's why you see so many people that are highly statured in the nation. But then you see the nation, corporately the nation is small. Why is the nation small? There's someone delaying the progress of the others. So if Moses had not stepped into his calling, Aholiab and Bezalel would never have known that they had within them the skill and the anointing to build a temple. Because all they would have been doing is to be carrying. Maybe the best that they would have done is to create a lift system to be what? To be carrying. So your calling is being warped. It's being perverted to do something below where it's supposed to work at. Why? Because there is someone that is delaying us. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That is what? That is delaying us. And that was why when he was leading prayer for us to pray for the body, I realized we had to pray so much with all our hearts. It's very important. If you make progress, it helps me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's a critical mass that we can reach in a nation that things will begin to shift completely in the spirit. And it depends on, are you journeying, or you're just praying 10 hours every day and nothing is shifting, nothing is moving. And you are happy because you can give 2-3 accurate words of knowledge. Those things are very good, but you must realize that words of knowledge are tools to effect a transformation. They are instruments of dominion. Your word of knowledge, what has it given to the Lord? Not just how many people has it given to the Lord. What environment have you cultured to look like heaven by your word of knowledge? Or do people hear your word of knowledge, get blessed, and they go back into their previous state of mind? Then we are not making progress. And that's what I was talking about, baptizing. It must come to a point where the grace of God on our life gets to a point that it baptizes people into something else entirely. it turns them into something else entirely. That those that see them will not be able to recognize them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But I don't want to say too many things. I'm repeating it again for emphasis. What is the starting point? Desire. And how do you create desire? By meditation. What you meditate on over a long period of time is what you have to begin to desire. Either for good or for what? For bad. If you are a scientist, this thing works anywhere. It's not a Christian principle. It is a principle of the universe. Whatever you desire for a long period of time is attracted to. We will now have tongues. I can pray all kinds of things to move me nearer to what I desire. So they say that if you can hold a thought in your mind for 17 seconds, right? What happens? They said the universe begins to respond to your desire. 17 seconds. Some of us cannot hold a thought in our mind for 5 seconds. Something else has come. We cannot go like that. Come to a place where you can hold a thought in your mind for like 1 hour. See, okay, let me use that as an example. Just test it one day. Do this when you don't have money. Don't pray. Just start thinking in your heart that people are coming. Someone is coming to give me money. Start thinking. Concentrate for 1 hour. Don't pray in tongues. Don't pray. Find that someone will come near you and give you. Then you get to a point where your soul has mastered this to a degree. Start happening in 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 1 minute. Why? Because you've learned how to hold a what? A desire. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So use music, use messages. Let them be a what you ride on to expand your desire in your heart. So sometimes I'm listening to someone's messages. I will fold myself on my bed as if I'm folding myself into my desire. I'm not praying. I'm just increasing that desire in my heart. And I'm listening to that message. I'm using the anointing on that message. I'm using it to steer my heart into something. One of the things the anointing does, one of the things the anointing does is that when something is anointed, it takes your attention into something else. So when someone is singing an anointed song, you forget what you are doing and you start thinking about what he's doing. Do you know why? We might not need that now because I need us to progress. We can start talking about frequencies and all that. And that's what worldly musicians to do. Even without your permission, as you are going home, you are singing the song you heard. Without your what? Your permission. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, if you can learn how to use the anointing or the supply of the Spirit on anything around you to incubate what is the desire that God has placed in your heart, you will travel what? Far. So sometimes I take Pastor Lawrence's songs. Sometimes I can listen to his songs on replay for maybe 2 hours. What am I using those songs to do? I'm using the anointing in that song. I'm using it to incubate desire in my heart. When I sleep in the night, obviously, I will have an encounter in line with what? God will show me the next thing. I wake up, do that next thing. That desire pushes me to the next thing. I've literally woken up from dreams and encounters. And I went to office to do something. I went to meet my boss on something. I'm working. And I use these things in my job too. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Have you literally prayed for a time and after maybe 6 or 7 hours of praying, I received a full download of what next we should do at work. And the next day, I went to work and I presented everything. And we all agreed that was the next place to start moving towards. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It works. So, desire. It what? It works. And do you know what happened? The more you do it, the more the universe will begin to stand. And when I say universe, don't think new age. Universe, your environment. Okay, let me say your environment. So that it doesn't become too... Your environment begins to know you. So your environment is at your beat and call, waiting for you to a time will come when it will be dangerous for you to hold a desire that is evil in your heart beyond a certain second, because it will begin to happen in the lives of people. That is power. I'm showing you the mechanics of how you get from there to here. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That is the pathway to these things. Do you understand? If your own is that, okay, forget technology, forget all those things. Your own is you want to be effective in quote ministry, because everything is ministry. The body of Christ will be trained to do the work of the ministry. But let's say you want to be effective in equipping others. Maybe you have a 5-fold call on your life. If you are that, then you have no choice but to spend time equipping others to do what God has laid upon their heart. If you are that kind of person, start with desire. Stay in your room. Bring your curtains down, lock your door, switch off the light. Reduce the illumination. What are you trying to do? Reduce distractions. Then you begin to incubate desire. Begin to pull the future into now. What is that thing you want to see yourself doing? You want to see yourself standing and you are laying your hands on the sick and you are giving accurate word of knowledge. Just stay in that place and begin to desire it. I can promise you 6 months maximum. If you can lay that desire on your heart long enough, you won't know when you overcome your fear. One day and in a meeting you start giving word of knowledge. Then one day you remember, I started the journey. It works for everything. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I want us to make what? Progress. Whatever you desire, when you what? If you are the kind of person that you want to start seeing angels, I'm picking desires from people's hearts. That even if they lie, let them teach you about this. You only listen. 5 days later, your desire again is to see angels. Guys, it is your father. Don't feel guilty when you have a desire to see angels. It isn't bad. What do you start doing? Start incubating that desire. How do you incubate your desire? Open the Bible. Look for scenarios where people saw angels. As you read it, close your eyes and begin to desire. Desire. I give you, for angels are even cheaper. I give you 1 month blocks. You first start with awareness of angels around you. You begin to know when they are around. Then the time will come when you begin to see them. It's not hard. It's just that we don't place our heart on one thing for long enough until it becomes a what? A desire. We operate by wishes. W-I-S-H. You are praying in tongues today, you say something. Tomorrow again, you are praying in tongues, you say something else. Even the realm of the spirit is confused. Which one do you want? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let me give you an example. When Daniel was praying for a certain thing, right? The Bible says from day one, when Daniel set his heart, not when Daniel started, when you set your heart and to begin to seek God, that was when I started coming. Do you understand? Now he said he waited for 21 days all and on. That one doesn't work again in the New Testament, but I'm just using that as an example. Do you know what kept that angel and made him say, I must get to Daniel? Was because at day 20, Daniel still had that desire in his heart. Imagine if after day 14, Daniel had already switched and started praying about something. The angel will go back, obviously, because they are attracted to what? And how much more we that we have so much prayer power around us. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There are some I can tell you some things now that will happen in the next 6 months. Not because God revealed it to me, but because that's what I'm desiring now. And it will what? Happen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Your father owns everything. I don't know. What is that thing I'm thinking of that I think is, I'm guilty. If I think about it, maybe God doesn't. What is that? What is that thing that is bigger than a little thing that God can just say, take? You know what is making you afraid? You are looking at your now. You are looking at your now. Okay, can I see myself preaching to president in the next 1.5 years? And I look at myself, I've never moved from here to here. Forget that thing. You don't need to know how. Lay the desire upon your heart. See yourself receiving phone calls that Mr. Israel is the president of Slovakia. Can you spare me 5 minutes so that you can preach the word to me? Hold it long enough in your heart. The universe, the realm of the spirit, will find a way of making it happen. Hold that desire long enough in your heart. Hold it long enough in your heart. That dream that God showed you can come to pass. Hold the desire long enough in your heart. Long enough in your heart. There is so much power available already. The problem is not power, the problem is desire. Can we just close our eyes and start praying in the spirit? Lord, I choose to desire. I choose to desire with my heart. I place the borders I have placed upon desires in my heart. Impartations are coming. We are receiving impartations of desires. Impartations of desires. Impartations of pathways. Impartations of desires. Capsules of light entering into the spirits of men. Capsules of light. Capsules of light. Encodings of desires entering into the hearts of men. Seeds of destinies entering into the hearts of men. In the name of Jesus. Alabo saila mando saila gabala. Ilaga badiza halamando. For there is a way that is hidden from the lions. The way of the Spirit. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. For light. Thank you, Jesus, for light. His power, 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 power. His power. A shift. Shift. Power. A shift. A shift. A shift. A shift. I release an anointing to shift. An anointing to shift. An anointing to shift. In the name of Jesus. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. Your eyes are open. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. Your ears are open. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. Your eyes are open.
I'm not saying that for today, Lord. I'm saying it for all the things you have said. About the future. You don't lie. You don't lie. That's why we're doing this. You don't lie, Lord. You don't lie. You don't lie. You don't lie. And Lord, you have said it is finished. It's now up to us. That's what you are echoing to us again. It's up to us. It's up to us. How much can we eat? How much can we take in? How serious are we? Lord, we're declaring, Lord, not in the arm of flesh, but by your spirit, right? We will eat all of you. We will finish you, Jesus. Yes. I promise you, Jesus, with your strength. Just bring it on. We will finish it. We will finish it. We will finish it. We will finish it. Says that these men were mindful of another city. When they were mindful of anything on this earth, they would have been granted permission to enter. But they were looking for something else. To build and make house of God. Your hunger will never go down. Amen. It will only get more. Amen. Your desire will be focused. Amen. Every word spoken will prosper. Amen. It will prosper. Amen. It will prosper. Amen. You will know what to do. Amen. You will find what you are looking for. Amen. You will find who you are looking for. Amen. Jesus will satisfy you. Amen. I pray that we are aligned. Amen. Everyone that is presently out of alignment and is in this retreat that is praying in the Holy Ghost here, by the mercy of God, by the workings of the breaker, you are pushed into alignment in Jesus' name. You are forced into alignment in Jesus' name. By reason of your stepping into this place, you have agreed that you want the will of God for your life. So therefore, we agree with you. Everyone here agrees with you. That even when you want to be disobedient, we force you to obedience. For the sake of those coming behind you, for the sake of those who stand in the waist, For the sake of my brethren, whose time you also waste, I force you into obedience in Jesus' name. By reason of your coming here, you are under the influence of the mercy and grace of God available in this place. I force your life into alignment with Jesus' name. Every relationship in your life that is out of place, I command you to fall into place. I command you to fall into place. Under the sound of my voice, I decree anyone that is in your life that should not be there, they fall out today. This very week, they will not, they can't survive these people. This week, your life is put under extreme heat. And everything that can be shaking is shaking in Jesus' name. You are falling into place in the name of Jesus. And Lord ahead of us, all those ahead of us, all those ahead of us that are hesitating in obedience, are responsible for our delay and wasting our time. So just listen to me. You know, we like to agree that we can delay others, yes or no? Is it not sweet to know that if I waste time, someone else will delay? Lord, you have mercy on me. You know, you are wasting time, other people's time. You are saying it as if it's not people's time you are wasting. How many of you have thought like that? You know, you are telling God, Lord, help me to align. People's obediences are tied to my own. You are wasting people's time. Imagine you are supposed to. God, this is a 5 days straight series teaching. I'm telling you sincerely, it's one of the only things that pushes me to run, because you are guilty of people's wasting of time. You see God jumping. You are wasting people's time. If it's only me, I'm going to apologize for that. Maybe it's my life. I wasted my life, have you? But the way God has done it, that's why we're a body. The leg cannot say, it's me, I'm leg. I'm wasting only my own life. I'm not going anywhere. You are wasting the life of so many other people. People who should be working in the company you have started, they are wasting their life. They're asking God for direction. What's God going to say? What's God going to say? New structures and works that you should have started. That people are supposed to begin to fill form and admission to come in and enroll and whatever. Are you getting what I'm saying? And you are still booting 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Somebody has reached that line and is supposed to cross that line, and you are wasting that person's life. God begins to give another instruction. When you check people's books, almost everybody seated here is out of alignment. I'm telling you, final year, I saw a vision. That thing affected my life. I saw myself 2 years' time walking on chapel ground. I was wearing black on black, only an umbrella. I will never forget it. The statue of that Lawrence. This I was looking at him in awe, and God said, that's who you should be now. And I was in final year. And I had 3 months left. So you wonder why some of us are selfish about the way we are praying. We are praying because I wanted to meet up with what I was seeing. I don't think I did not. I did not. I know I did not. And many of us know what it means to be behind. Many of you know you are behind. You know what it means to tell you are behind. But when it's time to pray, you still pray as if you are ahead. As if you have time, like you are trying to, but you are bored all the time, so it's now, let's go small. Like you are really, the best of us is behind time. The best of us is still behind time. The best of us, they caricature of what we should be now. And if that's the case, then you have delayed somebody already. If you are doubting it, your children will come and prove it to you. I pray they're bold enough to confront you and tell you, Daddy, what were you thinking? You said this person was your friend. What were you thinking when he was pressing? Because you said you were classmates, you said you used to press together. How come you are still here, Daddy? Can you explain to us how come you are still in this place? By the grace of God, our children will not tell some stories in Jesus' name. They will not tell some stories. Sometimes you look and you wonder whether we can win this thing. We can win this thing. We can win this thing. We're not fighting against Satan. No. Satan is too small for all this. We're fighting against ourselves. Are you hear what I'm saying? Satan, that's why we're praying like this. It's too small for all this. We're fighting against ourselves. We're fighting against what we have done to ourselves. We're fighting against the systems in our head. all our learnings, we are fighting against you are fighting against yourself. Call your name out. Call your name out. Call your name out. Me, I'm fighting against you. You need to identify. Let your heart begin to identify the real enemy now. Are you following? Let your heart start. Your heart, like my brother was saying just now, once your heart identifies something, all the forces, all the energies begin to channel towards that thing. Begin to identify yourself as your enemy. And tell yourself, Lawrence, what you have done to me is not good. And from today, I will begin to work against your plans and purposes in my life. It's good to confuse yourself like that because the way we are not confused, no, that's not what's not here. That was not helping us. You did yourself like this. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, fine girl, that fine girl did you like this. Someone is not getting what I'm saying. That person that come is here is the one that did you like this. And that guy must die. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are out to kill him. So Shakumbi said, tell him, I'm out to kill you. I will kill you. Jesus Christ must come out of you. All that I was made to be, you will not stop me. Be telling him. Maybe one day you have an encounter and he will stand up and he will leave you finally. We are getting to our goal in Jesus' name. Amen. The last thing we want is not to be hungry. See all this is ahead of us, you're not hungry again. Where do we start from? You're not hungry. Before we start talking about desire or something this or alignment or this, you're not even hungry. You see why you're not hungry? You are dead. Cry. Don't pray another prayer. Just get hungry first. Today we are going to be focusing on our desires. Whatever is on your heart, you focus your heart on it and get it today. Hear what I said? Get it when? Today. Let's take one step at a time. If all you accomplish is that this thing fills your heart tonight, and every time the thing is bugging your heart, as you're praying, it's just bugging your heart, you have arrived at the good place. Your heart is not jumping around again. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes, are you listening? Yes. So if that's what you arrive at today, have you made progress or not? Yes. See, don't look at someone that is graduating to the next class, and you ask the person question, the person cannot answer you. Hey. Well, like that is secondary school. You see a senior wearing trousers, he cannot answer questions. You are wearing short knicker, you are asking questions as someone that wearing trousers cannot answer. It's just a matter of time. You meet him in university. Someone didn't get that anymore. I know he's wearing trousers now. Continue looking. He's wearing trousers. Big boy. Yeah, big boy. Boy, come here. Bullying everybody. You are wearing knicker. I remember in SS1, we had a junior. In JS1, JS3 students will be giving him their take-home assignments to help them work. He's frustratingly brilliant. He had to leave the school because the school was too small for him. He always had 99, 100, 101. 99, I mean over 100. 102, 102, because they will add score to everybody. Then they will add the zone too. They can't cheat him. It's not his fault that they didn't use their brain. So they will add the 104 to the next term. They will keep carrying it over. So he always add extra. The parents just thought about it. Are you sure that this is 101, 102, this comes 199, 102, and the next person is 71. And they will sit down like they're in the same class. They will actually think they're in the same class. Have you now? So please, they that compare themselves are not wise. They are not wise at all. Don't look at anybody. Just be sure that number one, you can hear God's voice. It was last year I discovered believers don't hear God's voice. It sounds basic, Abi. See, I put it to you. Most of us don't hear God's voice. I mean, you don't know God's voice. I don't mean you don't hear. But you don't know it. As simple as that is, to save us plenty problem. This retreat, I was trying to hear God's voice until Friday. When did I announce it? When? 11 p.m. when? I'm not kidding you. This is not a matter of pride or guilt or whatever. Any retreat that is called for, God told me to call for it. I will give you reasons why I should not have held. Because I wanted to be around from the beginning. And God said, oh, so you have to be around before my week can be done. I said, okay, well, I think I get what they're saying. It needs to hold. So I don't know who is here. And this meeting is for. So act like it's for you. Because that it was convenient is a lie. It is a lie. So if it's for you, are you getting what I'm saying? It's simply about your life. Collect what you need to collect. Be serious. Be determined. That something must happen to me today that's different from what happened to me yesterday. Let me make progress for myself. Hallelujah. I'm saying it because when we gather like this, people will be looking at people, people will be checking people, watching people's prayer lives, some people's prayer lives, watching people's voices, listening to the how high or how low. I'm not studying, checking what number of chairs are there and all that. Looking, you can see people just constantly and looking. They will shout for like 30 minutes, then their true desire will now start coming out again. They'll be listening and be checking people out, watching people. That you don't know why you came here. I was surprised when you said you're one of the few people that are hungry. You spoke to him. Yes. I want to share a story about him. Yeah. See, even when you see him sleeping, he's not sick. This brother is hungry. You know, I know you're hungry. But I used to tell Jesus, please, Joe, please, just answer this guy. Yeah. So he won't be frustrated.
That was really, I know
that does not have results.
Yeah, I know.
He has results. I'm watching people. Some people are not hungry for these niggas. But it's the thing, the anointing that used to make them to come for it. And they will gather, they will chat, cry. But their true hunger will come out. When they say, let's go on break. You still have strength to fight. You jump here. I'm not talking about the leaves or handle sin. I'm talking about the young ones when they gather. You can tell that this one had to take a long time. Shall we pray in tongues? Let's pray in tongues. But you don't know how to communicate because you don't have strength. If I'm talking like that, I'm going to be losing out. I'm using spiritual power to be talking about hunger. I will not make sense. I won't make sense again with my life now. If somebody follows, say, better just carry like 5 of them. See, 1, 2, the head is correct. Just follow
the examples. When
you get, once the head becomes very correct, the rest people just start, see my life, and then they follow. But if you are shouting, pray, see, Kashikuma, guys have gone. Continue. No, I'm just imagining Kashikuma in a meeting and they're talking to her about it. You think that's how great people come out? The fact that they're telling you that is already obvious what is wrong with you. Let him read here. You don't need one more story again. You don't need any story again. It's clear to you that you must find God this year. Everything you're doing is channeled around it. Your plans, your programs, your schedules, your thinking, your thoughts, everything. I must touch him this year. I must do more this year. I must know him better this year. And there's not enough time. Every time is small, it's tiny. There are people saying, you have been seeking God. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. I need time. I need time. Because you are planning for the future. Your marriage, everything you are doing, you are planning everything around it. You must find him. I'm telling you, that thought thrills my mind every time. Thrills my mind every time. I don't want to have those children and be answering questions that I know they will not be dull. They'll be brilliant. A brilliant children can be a problem. What will I tell this boy?
They are angels.
Yes. Now we say angels are real. When I was growing up, we used to have retreats. Sometimes when we were having those retreats, they will touch me. Daddy, what if I want to see one now? So my son, see, in the calendar of things, you start to confuse the poor boys. If I do that, I won't tell him close your eyes, open your heart. What are you? Is your heart? What happened to the heart? Close it. A child's heart is closed. You're a wicked man. You are very wicked. A child's heart is closed. Daddy, please pray for me. I want to get healed. You said, please just open your heart, have faith. A child does not have faith. Our children will be wonderful sources of inspiration. practical, dangerous things that will be happening because they don't have problem. You are the one that has problem. Solve your problem before you get married. Take care of it. Or just do family planning. Hallelujah. Just family planning. Because those children, I'm saying it, and it is what we want. You'll be a nightmare in your life. Every waking day, you will be hoping they will not ask you a question that you cannot answer. And they will not ask for something you don't have. So get ready now. Not just for them, not just for your family members. It's not just your family God called you for. The question of Nigeria is asking us every blessed day. They're asking the whole Christian faith question. Nobody can answer it. This one makes us just sit down and just be laughing on our side and God shall answer me. Because no one you answer me, I'll be able to answer them. It's my fault. Yeah? So I'm sorry. It's me, Lawrence. I'm the reason why we're where we are. It's my fault. And I pray God will answer me. Don't be praying for me that God will answer my prayer. Because when He answers us, we will answer them. He says the heavens will answer the earth, and the earth will now answer you. Hallelujah. Amen. Nigeria will not be what it is. We are not just prophesying. We are the ones that will make it so. When we truly know what we are and arise, they don't have an option. It's not up to them, it's up to us. Hallelujah. 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 So if you don't mind, 2-3 minutes, spend down your desires. I'm going to break this way from now. Spend down your desires. I'm going to write the vision, make it plain. That's why we're saying pen it down. Write it down what you want. What do you want? Spend down your desire. In case you forget what you want, you send it again and you do what I said I want. Because you now want to say your desire. Think about it, take time, think about it. There's no pressure here.